Now we're live. Hey everybody, welcome to Inside A-State Esports, ASU-TV's new show covering the new Arkansas State Esports program. We're very excited to have you here. I'm Brad Brewer. I'll be your host for today. And joining us first is Stephanie Lott, the Title IX and Institutional Equity Coordinator. Did I get that right?
Yes.
All right, very cool. And you're kind of, I guess, a huge part of the brains getting this thing together. So tell me, is that true? Like, how much of a leadership do you have over the esports program?
So I am the head coach over our esports program. I facilitate all of our day-to-day activities. I help the players get scrims set up, make sure they're practicing consistently, take care of pretty much anything that the team needs.
Okay, and so over here we have Stephen Holmquist, who is the VP of A-State Esports, and you're also, I believe, the team captain of the League of Legends team.
Correct, yes.
So tell me kind of what your responsibilities are as VP.
Yeah, so it started out that I was just one of the students really interested in getting it going last spring, and so I reached out and I was like, how can I help in any way possible? And so I've helped with setting up the Discord as well as moderating that and helping set up the scrims and the tryouts when it first happened.
Okay, very cool. And so first up, so we kind of talked about how you guys are responsible for the program, and it's still a relatively very young program. And so when did kind of the ball start get rolling on, hey, esports is something we really want to do at Arkansas State, and how did everything come together? Stephanie, you can start.
It was probably February, March. A student, interested student, came to Dr. Danfus and said, listen, I'd really like to start an esports program on our campus. And Dr. Danfus, being as great as he is, said, sure, let's do that. We had some interested faculty and some other interested staff members that really helped us coordinate that as a team. So we all just sat around the table and we said, how can we make this happen? And then I kind of took a leadership role in that just because of my gaming background. I had a lot of knowledge about the space and how I thought it should look for us to be successful compared to other collegiate esports programs. And then I really just focused on getting the right people around the table, from students to coaches to some other staff that have been just supportive and helpful.
Okay, and so Stephen, when did you start getting involved? Were you there from the very beginning?
So I'd heard rumors of it starting up, and once they released the video, I actually DM'd Dr. Danfus on Twitter and was like, okay, who do I need to talk to start helping out with this? And so he gave me Matt Huckabee's name, and I went and talked to him, and he introduced me to Stephanie, and I went and had a meeting with her, and as well as another student who is interested, and we just started brainstorming ways that we could get this going and to properly equip students to succeed in this.
Okay, very cool. And before we go even further, I want to introduce our social media correspondent, Mark Cochran. He will be taking questions from our Facebook live stream, as well as if you have things that send me on Twitter. So Mark, do you have anything over there that you can ask us?
Yeah, I already have some questions. From Twitter, one person said, if you were to want to create another team and you had enough people that were interested, how would you go about doing that?
That's a great question, actually. We have a lot of different esport titles that people are interested in, and one of the ways that we're trying to work through what that looks like is, you could have 40 people that want to play NBA 2K. But if those 40 can't compete collegiately at the level that other schools are competing at, it's not feasible for us to field that team. But it would be a really great opportunity for us to do intramurals. And so that's one of the ways that Matt Huckabee's been helping us out. His vision for that space has really catapulted our program and really given us another layer there. So that's one of the ways we can make that work, is through intramurals if they're not able to compete at the collegiate level. But if they are, then that's something that we would take note of. We're planning on doing some interest outreach to see what other games people are interested in around the later springtime.
Okay, and so what's the the mix you're going for? Because of course you have the teams playing in TESPA and the NACE, these leagues that are very competitive, like Steven's in with League of Legends. But there's also people who may not have as much time spent in video games, but still love them and love to play them for fun. So what kind of mix are you guys going for? And Stephen, I'll ask you personally as VP, do you know so far what the mix you want between being competitive and kind of something that really is almost something that serves A-State as a community?
Yeah, see, we're trying to create a culture of gaming in a safe place, and which people can meet other students that are interested in gaming, and that they can enjoy gaming to whatever level they want, whether that's just casually meeting people through the Discord and playing a game on a Tuesday night, or that's getting a group of friends and saying, hey, let's compete in this intramural program, or they put in 30 hours, 40 hours a week for the last 4 or 5 years in a game, and they're like, I want to compete collegiately. And we want to be able to provide those opportunities to students where they are, as well as introduce more students into gaming and how that looks like at the college level.
Okay, so with the community being almost a focal point into the esports program. There's, I know, the kind of the gaming center, or I don't know what the official name for it is, coming up. Do we know what that's going to look like, when it's going to open up, and who all can kind of be involved and kind of see what it's all about and play games? Is it a hangout spot? Is it a practice spot? Or where is it in?
So coincidentally, I was actually there this morning checking some things out with a few players, just to go over some details and some setup stuff to finalize it. The space we hope will open within the next week and a half to 2 weeks. We are doing equipment setup right now, and then we want to test the equipment, have a soft test with some of our players to make sure that it's fully functional for them. And then it will be fully operational and open to all of our competitive players. We're going to do a grand opening to really showcase it to the campus, because this is a space that all of our students could at one point potentially be in if they're on a competitive team. And we want to show our faculty the space and our other staff. We want to make it open. So we're going to do a grand opening for that. But after that grand opening, it's only going to be accessible to people that are competitive players or folks that help us out on our esports student leadership committee. And that's how we plan to have that space function. But it should be open here in about the next week and a half to 2 weeks.
Okay, really cool. And so are there any plans to maybe like throw events for the intramural, or like, if you say one night you want to have a Smash tournament or something and invite people in, maybe a night where, the League of Legends team isn't practicing. Are there any plans for that, Stephen?
Yeah, we're talking as an esports team in general, like all the competitive players as well as the student committee, to get events that kind of bridge that gap between students who aren't as interested and students who are competitive. That we're able to integrate both those levels into not feeling like anyone is better than anyone else, and having opportunities for everyone to play games together in a safe and a fun place.
Okay, very cool. So let's make sure we throw it back over to Mark, get him back involved. Are there any more questions over there, Jeff?
Yeah, I have another question from Twitter. It said, what is the possibility of ASU Esports picking up streamers or other content creators to represent the university?
So that's something that we actually, to be quite honest, we haven't talked about yet. Our main focus has been to make sure that our teams are set up, that they're able to compete, and that they can compete well. Once we feel like we have a good foothold on that, I think we'll be able to maybe move forward in our vision and start thinking larger about our program. What we want to also focus on, too, is our players, making sure that people understand their personalities, that they have their own personal fan base, and so that's something we've been spending a lot of time on, too. Right now, that's not something that's at the forefront, but it's certainly something that's possible in our long-term vision.
Okay, and Stephen, as a student player yourself, is that something that you, like when you look at almost your own brand as a player, like do you stream, and like how important is that to you to kind of have a platform for you to stream?
I do stream, and I just recently have been able to get back into it because of upgrades made to our internet at our house. And so I don't see it extremely important to me, because what's most important to me is winning. I'm extremely competitive. I love to win, and so I would rather focus on my own ability and improvement. But I know that there are some students on the competitive team that have a really strong brand themselves, and they look forward to promoting themselves through the collegiate competitions, and by proving themselves collegiately, they can improve their brand and gain more fans themselves.
Okay, and so we talked about kind of the possible vision of the future for streamers and content creators. And we see the opening of the gaming center. So what do you have other visions at the moment? Like how far ahead are your goals that you have set up? Are you kind of taking it day by day, or do you have long-term goals already set up?
Sort of a little bit of both. Our long-term vision is to be up there with all of the other competitive collegiate programs that exist in esports. We want to make this one of the top programs in the country. We didn't start it to just be mediocre, to just be an option. We wanted to be the best. And so I'm hoping that that's where we can get to, and I certainly think that we have the caliber of players to get us there. And if we continue on the path that we're on, we're certainly going to be there sooner than later. They've already beaten some very notable, highly ranked teams, and they're already turning some heads in all the ways that they need to. So I'm very confident that in the next 5 years, you're going to see a completely different program that's at a very high level.
Okay, and so Stephen, where's your confidence level at for not just for the League of Legends team, but you've seen the caliber of play from the Rocket League, the Overwatch teams. Do you think maybe like give a timetable that maybe within a year or 6 months that you'll be able to kind of start competing in these the top tournaments against the top teams?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident that a few of our teams right now can put up a good fight against any level of play. And the top teams have been there, and they've proved themselves. But I think that once we keep cultivating these competitive players and getting more more players added to our numbers, then probably I'd say within a year or two for sure, we can take on any top team.
Okay, very cool. And so let's go ahead and throw it over to Mark for one more time in the show. What else do you have for us over there?
I had someone on Facebook just a few minutes ago ask, what are the top 3 things y'all look for in competitors?
I think that what I look for and what he's going to look for in a teammate are probably different. So I think it's best that he can answer first, and then maybe I'll follow.
Okay.
Yeah, speaking specifically from a League of Legends standpoint, I think for me what I like to look for in a teammate is first of all their in-game skill. Can they compete with all the other top-ranked players that are going to be playing collegiately? Second is, are they selfless? Because in every game you have to give up resources, or it's very different than playing solo, that you have to compete with your team and be like, okay, I'm gonna take a hit this game to win. And then the third thing is probably just, I want to have someone who can have fun as well as take things seriously, and be able to differentiate between playing for fun and competing.
I think that some of them are similar. Obviously the skill level has to be there. So somebody that can compete on the team, that can help them achieve all the things they want to achieve and win, is certainly something that we're looking for. I think for me also, I'm looking for somebody who's interested in managing all of the things that require you to be a collegiate esport athlete, like your academics, like extracurricular activities. Maybe you have a job. That's very important. So your time management, your communication skills with your teammates and with me, super crucial to me as a coach. And then the last thing probably is somebody that just really loves A-State. Part of our program is we want people to come to play esports here, but I also want you to enjoy A-State as a campus. And there's a lot of things that we offer people, and I think that's going to be one of the big draws that we have that other schools don't have. Not only do we have a really great, successful esports program right out of the gate pretty much, but past that, we have a really great campus with lots of different majors and different facets of student life that are going to be open and available to students that really should draw them in, that I want them to love.
For sure. And along with that campus, like we've already talked about with Chancellor Dampus, we have a very supportive group of people in administration. So I guess I'll ask about them real quick. How crucial was it to have such administration that was backing you guys? Because you guys have gotten pretty great funding from what I've heard, and this has been something this is almost the promotion of a marquee program that is esports right now. So how important has that been, and how much has it helped to maybe push you guys, you're able to do what you can do in 6 months that other schools may take years to do?
Yeah. As a player, I know it's insanely encouraging, because when I first heard rumors of it, I was thinking it could be like other schools to where they announce a team and they say, okay, have fun playing. And they'll say, well, maybe tweet about you guys every once in a while. But instantly having tryouts within 3 months of the announcements, as well as having a space and having faculty just come out of the woodworks to say, I can support you in this way. I'd like to do research with the esports team this way and help promote esports at Arkansas State. It's made me want to represent the university as a player to my highest caliber, and they've given us the opportunity to do that, and as well as all the different facilities and ways to do it.
For sure, we can tell from your awesome jerseys already that the support's there, and we're very excited. So with the support and with this being such a fantastic program, of course you're gonna want to have a lot of people get involved. I've seen on Twitter, alumni who are maybe in their 30s want to get involved.
Absolutely.
So what are the opportunities? Because I've seen opportunities for these people to get involved. Who are the people that can be involved, and how can they get that involvement, Stephanie?
Probably one of the easiest ways to get involved with our program is to join us on Discord. Our Discord link is published on our Twitter account at A-State Esports, and it's pinned to the top so you can see it. You're not going to miss it. And then also our Twitter account, we post every day about the different scrims we have, different competitions, lots of different announcements there that we have going on. Our students are very active on there, and the stream is pretty much going every single day. So there's always a way, if you're a viewer, to watch what's going on if you're a fan. But if you are a student interested in a leadership role, we have opportunities for that come up every semester. So that'll be on a semester-to-semester basis. Players, they're having tryouts again in late spring. So if you're interested in that, all of our games will go through tryouts again at the end of the spring. And then if you're an alumni, the Discord is open to prospective students, current students, and alumni members, and we'd love to have every single one of you join.
Okay, very cool. So, man, there's so much going on. It's it's a lot to process. Oh, what is the Twitch channel for real quick? Is it just Arkansas State?
Twitch.tv/Arkansas State.
So yeah, there's your opportunities to watch, get involved. There's tournaments coming up. There's an Overwatch tournament upcoming this weekend.
Rocket League qualifiers.
Yeah, Rocket League qualifiers. There's scrims almost every day, it seems. So lots to be excited about at A-State Esports. That's all the time we have for today. I'm Brad Brewer, along with Stephanie Lott, Stephen Holmquist, Mark Cochran, our social media correspondent. And we'll see you next week where we'll talk about the Overwatch team. Have a good one.